Yeah, and the project I wanted to talk about, I wanted to take the opportunity to talk about something completely else. A project I finished last year. By the way, I'm from The Hague, from the Netherlands. My name is Floris Kaayk. And before I'm going to talk about this project, I wanted to show a short introduction video of it, of 4 minutes, and that's what I'm going to do right now.
Yeah, I had one I wanted to talk about. I was over at humanbirdwings.net. There's this guy, Jarno Smeets. He's basically building himself some wings. He's literally, he's one of these paragliders, kite surfing type guys, and he took one of these huge kites that you see are so big they do literally lift people off the ground sometimes. And he's basically cut them up. He's hooked Wii remotes to his cell phone computer and some sort of weird gearing system they use in handicapped legs, I guess. And like artificial
So he's
legs,
unemployed.
Yeah.
No, he's not unemployed. He's a mechanical engineer. He's
a student.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, he's putting together wings, and they're set up so that he should actually be able to lift himself off the ground by flapping his arms.
The way that he's like using these phones to like tell the speed of the wind and what position they're in, so they know how much power to give to these motors. And then he's got Wii remotes so that when he actually flaps his arms, the wings
Nelson is flapping his
flap.
arms right now, by the way, just in case.
If I had Wii
if you
remotes
weren't
here, yeah. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
I think
it's pretty cool.
I think the guy is a borderline genius. The way that he's taken new technology and put it towards an old idea. He talks about how his grandfather always wanted to fly, and he's always had that dream. So he's taken this new technology, and he's very close to making it a reality.
No, he's not very close at all. He didn't get in the air. He spent 10 years doing this, and he can't get in the air.
He
And
just started in the last 3 months. He never
started.
got around to it. It's like his grandpa apparently spent his whole life kind of toying with this idea too and never built anything. A lot of people think about stuff.
If we're gonna fly, this is.
If you remember, I had an idea for a helicopter I told you a few years ago, and I still haven't gotten around to doing it myself.
Called Jarno Smeets claims to have flown using homemade footage.
Take a look. Here's a so-called birdman in this video.
Experiment over online media. Hoe kan je een verhaal vertellen via een blog? Applaus!
2 seconds. It looks like one of those first videos of people trying to fly when they're still trying to figure it out. So I think he's on his way. But there's this.
Okay.
So I'm thinking with wingsuits and with this Giannis guy and with other people working on similar things with ornithopters, in 25 years, I'm saying right now, we're all going to be flying.
So that video already explains quite well what the project was about, but I would like to go a bit more into detail about human birdwings. About 1.5 years ago, I was asked by NTR, that's a Dutch television broadcaster, to step out of my comfort zone as a filmmaker and tell a story with new media instead of just using traditional animation, linear storytelling. And I immediately got the idea to build wings myself and share it through a blog and Facebook and Twitter. So in one of my previous projects I worked together with Revolver Media Productions, a production company from Rotterdam, and they offered them their help because they had more experience with transmedia storytelling. So we started collaborating on the project. And the result was Human Birdwings, and Human Birdwings was a transmedia story about a guy who wants to fly like a bird, and we spread his story by using various online media platforms like Facebook and Twitter, and by using that we also enabled the audience to participate in the story and to think with the wing design and the way the wings would be built. The main character of Human Birdwings is Jarno Smeets. He's actually my alter ego. I created his Facebook profile and LinkedIn profile, and his LinkedIn profile says that he's a mechanical engineer, and he worked at Philips Design and at Built-in Steering Systems, and he studied at the Coventry University in England. And the big dream of Jarno Smeets is to fly like a bird, to build himself wings and to fly with in the same way as birds do. And one of the storylines in the project was his grandfather, because his grandfather also shared the same dream. And during his life, his grandfather was always trying to make a flying device himself, but he never managed to do that. So Jarno is not only living his own dream, but also his grandfather's dream. And the concept of Human Birdwings was based on the universal dream we all have, I think, to be able to fly, and it's a very historical dream. There are pictures of the myth of Icarus, and Leonardo da Vinci dreamed about it 500 years ago by designing a flapping wing device. But he soon discovered that our human body isn't strong enough to flap wings that big, and because our pectoral muscles are not strong enough, and birds have hollow bones and people don't. So he stopped working on his design, but in the meantime the myth continued, and nobody ever succeeded after Leonardo da Vinci to realize that idea. So I had the idea, nowadays we're able to make intelligent prosthetics, and the picture you see on the right, that's a backpack they use in the US Army, which enables people to carry a backpack of 100 kilograms by using this exoskeleton. And I thought, if we can do that, I can also build a system to move these big wings and finally be able to fly like a bird. Another part of the concept or the fascination was do-it-yourself online projects. I was fascinated by people who build revolutionary devices by using household mechanics and simple electronic devices. So together with Revolver Media, I decided to create a crew, a team. And I asked a guy from the Technical University in Eindhoven to help me with building these wings and designing the wings, because I'm a filmmaker and not a technical person, so I wasn't able to create this design completely myself. So I asked him to design wings which would be able to build with simple household mechanics and electronics. And then he came up with this idea, with this design. The idea was to connect HTC smartphones with Wii controllers and collect the movement data of the arms, and finally transfer this data to small motors on the back, which would power the wings, so Jarno could eventually fly and move those big wings instead of using his own muscle power. The backstory for Jarno to make him like a real person was, we did it with making a Facebook page, and we shared the story through the posts on his Facebook page. There was also the LinkedIn profile, which people could connect from the commercial world and the companies. And we also shared parts of the story through Twitter. And there was the heart of the brain of the story world, or the core, and that was a blog, which was some kind of a diary in which Jarno shared all the steps in his story. And finally we ended up with making 14 videos in which the process was being showed, and all those videos were shared on the YouTube channel. And on this YouTube channel I have a small compilation of videos which are are in that YouTube channel. And I try to make all these videos look like they are some kind of amateur videos. I wanted to copy the amateur style of video bloggers. So this is a short compilation.
Hey, I'm Jarno, and on this video channel and on my WordPress blog I'm going to share my personal DIY project.
Hey guys, I'm here in Amsterdam at the Museum Square and I'm going to talk with Bert Otten about my flying concept.
I think it's more exciting, your plan is more exciting, because you want to have movable wings.
You can see milled balsa wood, so really lightweight. If you look a little closer, we'll notice that the harness will be in a... I think I can't do this completely on my own, so... Well, if you're living around The Hague in the Netherlands, please send me a message through YouTube, Facebook or Twitter, or just send me an email. And let me know if you're able to come out and help me building these wings. In the last video I was asking people to send messages and a lot of people started offering their help, but unfortunately because it was a fictional project I wasn't able to invite these people for real. But I used their input from the mails, and at the same time I also started asking and participating in existing forums about home-built airplanes. And a lot of people were skeptic about my idea to make flapping wings. But there were also some people who wanted to help me, and they came up with great ideas which really helped during the designing of the wings. And these people also started following the story of Jarno by connecting to his Facebook page. And while doing that we were tweeting and sharing all the parts of the blog and the YouTube channel through Twitter. And because I couldn't invite real people, Jarno didn't have real friends, so we had to hire actors. And one of the actors who played a friend of Jarno was Floris Kaayk. She was also a fictional character. We created a blog for her. And there was even the idea to create some kind of a romance between Jarno and Floor, but eventually that, of course, didn't fit in the story. But Floor, from that moment, started filming the complete process and editing the films. And I have another video compilation of the actors and Floor, and to see what kind of atmosphere there was while building the wings. Floor, from now on, is going to film the complete process. And these friends... Yes, now it's goed.
Well, this is my Wildfire S using its accelerometer.
Slowly, through all the months, the wings started to get together and slowly becoming real. And while we were doing that, we also already had some press attention from people who started following the project. There was an interview of three pages from the Humo, a Belgian magazine, which is quite big. And they fully believed it, and they wrote a very serious article about it. The Hague television came visiting me, or Jarno, and asking him about the wings. And at the same time, there were also a lot of blogs on the internet, paying attention for the Human Birdwings project. And slowly we were working towards a climax, the first climax in the story, and that would be the first test flight of Jarno. And we picked a park in The Hague, the Westbrook Park, to let him try the wings. And when we posted this first this first try of him testing the wings, a lot of people on the internet started, a real buzz started, let's say. Wired, a scientist of Wired, the famous US magazine online, he wrote an article about it with all kinds of different calculations, and he fully believed in the design and in the calculations me and David, the guy from the Technical University, made.
But at the same time, there were also a lot of skeptic people, and because I made a mistake in my animation. In one shot there was a black square on the right wing, and in the other shot the black square wasn't there. So people started to get suspicious about maybe there would be computer animation involved. And at the same time there was also a guy from the Netherlands. He started digging into Jarno's Facebook profile and discovered a photo of Jarno which was photoshopped by myself. I wanted to have a nice photo with Jarno in a hang glider, and I found it on Google Images, but this guy started looking on Google Images and he discovered the real photo. So slowly Jarno wasn't completely believable anymore. So I decided to be quiet for a while, so people maybe would forget the Human Birdwings project. And we waited for a few months, and then suddenly we posted the video in which Jarno actually really flies, and that's this video.
Met de andere camera filmen.
Ja, joh, kom op! Ja.
And well, 24 hours after posting this video, it was getting very big. CNN called me, and Jarno, and the BBC, and all the big news broadcasters starting to pay attention for this video, because it was the first person in the world, in the history of humankind, that was able to fly with flapping wings by using just simple do-it-yourself techniques. So there was a lot of media attention, and I made a compilation about that.
Jarno Smeets can
Fly like a bird.
Flying like a bird. And 500 years after Leonardo da Vinci dreamed of man taking to the sky.
It's called human birdwings.
A Dutch engineer called Jarno Smeets.
Take a look. Here's a so-called birdman.
A Dutch man is sky high after he says his incredible invention took flight.
Hey guys, so I just saw flying like a bird.
Diese Woche verleiht das Internet Flügel.
Ik ben dus heel erg gemotiveerd door Jarno Smeets.
And it was funny to see that people also started copying the video of Jarno. Like the last guy, he made some kind of a persiflage on my version with small pink wings on his back. But at the same time, there was also the Mythbusters who started doing research. And because we developed the design, so we spent so much time on design, even Jamie from the Mythbusters believed in that it was plausible, that it was all real. But a big blog called Gizmodo, they were skeptic, of course, and they started asking Industrial Light and Magic, a visual effects company from America, to analyze the video, and ILM, they noticed that this can be real. So, and then there were also people analyzing the soundtrack and analyzing the clothes of Jarno and his helmet camera, and soon people started discovering that this couldn't be real, and the Flying Dutchman became the Lying Dutchman. So I decided also the journalist who did the Humo interview, which I told before, he started digging more deep in the profile of Jarno and started calling Philips, and when he called Philips, he discovered that Jarno never worked at Philips and also didn't study at the Coventry University. So I thought, well, I need to be quick and I need to be clear about the real nature of this project, and decided to go to one of the Dutch primetime television shows, De Wereld Draait Door, to talk about the reality behind human birdwings.
Dus Jarno is inderdaad een fictief personage.
Jij heet geen Jarno. Hoe heet jij wel?
Ik heet Floris Kaayk.
Floris Kaayk, wel aangenaam.
Dankjewel.
Ja, oké. Begin opnieuw.
Ik ben eigenlijk een filmmaker
ja.
En animator. En ik heb dit project, ben er nu 8 maanden mee bezig als een soort van experiment over online media. Hoe kan je een verhaal vertellen via een blog?
Applaus!
And soon after this television show, Floris Kaayk and Jarno Smeets were worldwide trending topic on Twitter at the same time, but only for 5 minutes. So, but it was nice. And all kinds of these kind of quotes were being found on the internet. So people still, even they knew it wasn't real, they still liked the idea behind it. But of course, there were also a lot of angry people who started emailing me. And at this moment, the last video in which Jarno is flying, still a lot of people didn't notice the buzz when it was there, and they believe in it. And even some people think Floris Kaayk isn't real and Jarno Smeets is real. So that's a nice urban legend twist. Yeah, that was the story about human birdwings. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Yeah. Yeah, and well, it's just a fact that news broadcasters, with all this, because it's becoming faster due to Twitter and Facebook, they want to spread the news very fast, so they don't really take time to check the reality behind it. And I think that's, if I would have done this about 5 or 6 years ago, it wouldn't have the same result. So, yeah, I think, yeah, maybe it could also be used for political purposes.
So, any other questions from the audience about this? One here.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
You said that the point of this project was to analyze how information disseminates through the digital space, but is that really it? I mean, it's really a good joke and a really good prank, and there must be something deeper,
Well,
I think.
First of all, it was a personal dream I wanted to share. I dream about flying since I'm a little boy, so I thought, well, I want to realize this dream, but I don't have the money and the knowledge to make real working wings. And second of all, I wanted to experiment with this media, but it was never the goal to make a joke, because I think that's it's too elaborate for a joke or for a simple hoax, because we spent 8 months on it and we made a script for it. And, but yeah, I'm aware of a lot of people thinking it's just a joke or a hoax or media hype, but that wasn't the purpose.
So what, it was about exploring your dream?
Yeah, and not only my dream, I think the dream of a lot of people. A lot of people dream about flying, and I also wanted to make use of existing media formats, like I did with my film The Order Electris and Metallo's Maligna. And there I transformed the documentary format to present my fantasy. And here I used the format of video bloggers and amateur do-it-yourselfers to present my fantasy or my dream world. That's, yeah.
So you made like a digital prosthetic for yourself?
Sorry?
You made like a fake arm, but in a digital world. You made digital wings.
Yeah, but we made them also real, but, well, of course I wasn't able to make them really functioning, but for the story I wanted to create them because it was the biggest part of the story, the complete process of building these wings. And, yeah. Not that I would actually fly, but I thought the wings I would be able to make them move, but that even didn't happen. Well, after I started working on my computer animation software, I got really close, and I'm not sure yet if that is how my dream would look like. I think, yeah. I think dreaming about it would be nicer to actually doing it. A lot of people were disappointed because their dream was gone, but I think the dream is still there because, well, it turned out to be not real.
Sorry?
No, the dream didn't came true, but I think I somehow tried to visualize it. But, well, that, yeah.
We have another question here.
First of all, I just first would like to say that I appreciate your work in general. I think you're a very talented person. And the reason I'm saying it is because there's a lot of criticism about to come out. And I want to make sure that you understand it's not a personal criticism. But I would qualify as one of the angry people. And I would like to say shortly what bothers me and ask you whether you're aware of it and whether you did it on purpose or by accident. And what
you mean to make people angry? Or?
No, yeah, but I tell you what bothers me shortly because I want to present it as a question, not to give a. Mm-hmm. It seemed to me like this is an experiment in opening people's hearts and hopes and then thrashing it down to the ground.
Yeah, do you really?
Are you aware of that? Was it on purpose?
I was aware of that. But finally, it's not how I look at it, no.
Okay.
Because I think what I just said, that because this is not real, there are still hopes and the dreams are still there to realize it.
Well, it seems that you're doing the opposite, maybe not intentionally, but it's kind of what comes out. You're kind of showing a dream of 500 years as being realizable, only showing the end that it was just a joke.
Yeah, but it was not a joke.
Sorry?
It was not a joke. It was an attempt to tell a story with new media. And we created fictional characters. If you go to the cinema, you also watch a story which is told by fictional characters. But by presenting it not in a cinema, but on an online platform, yeah, I think that's another thing which we are not used to yet. Yeah. We're not used to see fiction online. We believe everything we see online. Maybe that's a process we have to go through.